Thank you, Betsy. This is certainly the coolest thing happening in the Aspen Institute this week, so thank you all for gathering. Uh, there's a lot of good stuff happened, so that's right. So being the cool of any one week is just fine. Um, but I want to say maybe three things, and then we just keep on moving, get into the good stuff. And the first thing is that Betsy Cooper and her team are doing an awesome job. Fantastic. Going out and building from start a fellows program of this sort. Making something from nothing is like something you always want to be associated with. I think a lot of these innovators are also making something from nothing, from their great idea. But to Betsy and to her team, please join me in a huge round of applause. Thank you so much. Um, and it's the drive of this is Betsy and her group. It's also some of the colleagues that she works with on her team who are doing amazing things. All the way in the back is our Executive Vice President, Elliot Gerson, who oversees a large group of our impact programs, more than 30 that are working in key areas from public health to the future of work, from community college success to how to unlock the talent potential of opportunity youth to still more. And Aspen Institute is really a big, big platform. We contain change makers like Betsy working on all sorts of issues and all sorts of methodologies and all sorts of partnerships and with all sorts of outcomes. But the whole theme of it really is just, it comes down, I think, to two things. And the first is, how do we create a working society, a society that's free, just, and equitable? That's been driving this place for 70 years. People might use different words to say it, but that's the basic idea. How do we create a society that works? It works for all. How do we do that? And there's many parts to that, obviously, but that's key. Are we developing a still more equitable society? Are we developing a society where the concerns of justice are brought to the table? Are we promoting freedom? Freedom within our political systems and structures, freedom within people's individual ability to be entrepreneurs and creators and create for their communities and their families the lives they want to live. And if that's sort of a big purpose that people give voice to in their individual vocabularies, then a second thing to say about that is that we drive change. We're often thought of as a forum, which we do hold lots of different kinds of fora, and your workshops are a fora. But it is generally in the service of trying to frame and drive change. And the work you're doing is all about driving change. That's what the innovator does. The innovator finds a framework within which to change our understanding of the possible, or to create new resources that bring an advance to society. I love it when an innovation happens to also in some way promote equity, in some way promote greater freedom, in some way to promote justice. That's even better. And we'll get a chance to learn from what you're doing and have our own imaginations piqued about what we can take away from what you're doing that then will help us get even more excited about our mission. And that's point one. But then point two is something that we're evolving into, which is, as an organization, this is pretty complex. I won't go into length on this, but how do we promote and seed creative solutions? And then when stuff succeeds, how do we know it? And if we know it, how do we scale it? And I think that idea of being a nonprofit, people-serving organization is trying to scale success by helping people-serving work, community-enhancing work, civilization-serving work to scale is a really great future for us as an organization. That scaling success is really so powerful and so important. I think probably a bunch of you are thinking about scaling all day long, fanatically at night. How do I scale my dreams? How do you scale? Being good at scaling people-solving work is not the same as coming up with great people-serving ideas. Scaling is you take the success to scale is a whole different set of tools needed. If we can, as an organization, learn from you as part of our journey to get even better at scaling successes that empower Native American youth to be change makers, or at scaling successes of women's health collectives to make sure women have access to knowledge that can save their lives, or scaling success at helping corporations learn how to be more inclusive in how they recruit, train, educate, serve their publics. If we can scale those successes, sometimes maybe technology helps in the scaling, in fact. We'll be delivering our mission, which is old, in a way that's relevant for today. And so you're giving us some cool inspiration. Third thing just is that the Bay Area is a relatively newer area of focus for the Aspen Institute. and it's a huge, huge opportunity and priority. So again, thank you. It's like it's sort of like the way the Jesuits used to send people to new parts of the world, and they would get into those parts of the world, and they wouldn't try to convert people. They'd try to learn the local culture, and by learning the culture, they then create a way they could add some value to the culture. Spoken as a true Georgetown graduate. So this is an anonymous Jesuit who went out to San Francisco to help us build a connectedness into the Bay Area and through this hub, and see what else that hub can grow into. And I think I want to thank you all. You're part of the early adopters, so to speak, of the Aspen method for growing change. And it starts with you. It's not going to end with this group. There's the next group is already getting queued up, as I understand it, and hundreds and hundreds of people would like to have the opportunity to be a part of something like this. So way to go. You built a lot of interest and excitement, and the Bay Area is a big part of our future. So on that note, thank you for being here. I can't wait to learn a little more today. Thank you, Betsy.